Start with pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning.
Good morning.
First I have is the approval of today's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda.
I will second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Let's go to who's on there. Do we have everybody down for the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Next I have is the approval of the minutes. We have them from 8/19/2020, 26/2020, 9/2/2020.
Lance, I'd make a motion to approve the minutes from 8/19/2020, 8/26/2020, 9/2/2020 as presented.
And I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next is approval for claims for payment of 9/9/2020.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 9th, 2020 claims for payment.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carried. Utility permits, I have one.
I'll make a motion to approve the utility permit number UT-20-031 for Heart of Iowa Communications Cooperative.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carried. Secondary roads.
Weather's wrecking our plans this week, so yep, it is what it is.
You want to go ahead up there?
Sure.
I'm gonna have you up in a second anyway. Yep. What's the news on our Gifford Bridge? We're still waiting on the
Same
payment.
thing. They were gonna come this week and obviously now they can't, so.
Okay.
Yep. That's the way it goes.
Well, from there, any questions for Taylor?
Nope.
Next we have is the appointment of the weed commissioner.
So currently Luke Davison is still our weed commissioner, and he kind of said that on his way out, anything you need done, just let me know, and we've been lucky enough, we haven't really needed it, and Paul's ready to take over, so we can go ahead and name Paul as the weed commissioner.
Okay.
And on that note, our contract sprayers are back right now doing their fall spraying.
Not today, right?
No, but they started last week, and yep,
All right, good.
so that's going on too. So I don't know how much they left for you, Paul. Did you get a lot of complaints this year?
I didn't.
I didn't think so either. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Lance, I'd go ahead and make a motion to appoint Paul Martin as the Hardin County Weed Commissioner.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? You wanna
Yeah, I
stand
think
up?
this is, Lance, I do want to just maybe more for a public education part of this, that the weed commissioner varies county by county. Marshall County's weed commissioner, as it's listed right now, is somebody that's deceased. Grundy County's weed commissioner, as it's listed right now, is a county supervisor that hasn't been a county supervisor for going on 2 years. So, to have a weed commissioner and have them certified and in a position where they can be active in the position, I think is more important than just having the position with a name in it. And so I think Taylor's done a good job, and I believe Paul will do a good job to make sure that the job is being done correctly.
No, sounds good. I believe Hamilton County also is a supervisor over there.
Yep. So I think having a hands-on, educated person that's actively involved in the day-to-day operations, not just a name on the sheet, is very imperative to making sure that the job gets done and that there's a person behind the phone calls and stuff.
Is there any other discussion? No more. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. You're appointed. Next is the appointment of the headwaters of the South Skunk Watershed Management Authority representative. I talked to Al Kadolf on this. He's the one that does the South Fork. He was not interested in this. I had also talked to Wes, and Wes said he would do it if you guys would like to, or if one of you guys would go on to. We can always make Wes the alternate. Or I'd be looking for an alternate as well.
Renee, you know, when I looked at the organizational structure, it looked like we should have 2 people. Is that correct?
I think that was the other watershed.
I think that one is, yes, I think that one is the one in relation to Meskwaki.
Okay.
The Iowa River one. That one needs
Okay.
2.
So
Okay.
these guys are asking is to appoint someone from your jurisdiction's board to represent your jurisdiction on the waters of the South Skunk MA and send us a copy of the appointment. Alternatively, you may appoint a staff person as your representative if the board member cannot serve.
Okay.
This is the one over by Story County.
Right,
Way over
okay.
in the Hardin County, into Story
Yep.
County.
I'm-
Go ahead, BJ.
Renee. No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'll make a motion to appoint Wes Weiss as the representative on the South Skunk River Watershed Management Authority.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. I don't recall if we need an alternate right away or not. We could do an alternate.
I'm fine with that. And I'd be more than happy to be Wes's alternate.
Okay.
All right, then I'll make a motion to appoint BJ Hoffman as the alternate for the South Skunk River Watershed Management Authority.
I will second that. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. Let's do a roll call.
Renee,
Aye.
Lance,
Aye.
BJ,
Abstain?
Motion carries. Next, we have is a resolution requesting reimbursement from the Iowa COVID-19 Government Relief Fund. Renee, I think you have a little information on that.
Yes, there's a webinar that's taking place this afternoon that will give us a little more information so that we can get the correct figures to submit in the resolution. So I would make a motion to table the resolution requesting reimbursement from the Iowa COVID-19 Government Relief Fund this time.
I will second that.
The moved and seconded. Any discussion? Put it back on next Wednesday?
Yes, probably.
I think,
No.
Yes, please.
It's what?
I think that's Wednesday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it has to be, can you set a meeting for Friday to just do that? Follow the information. The reason there's an issue is that the number that is in the worksheet is different than the number that's in the directions. And so Becca has been trying to call around the auditors, and there's confusion in what that benefits number, what percentage that benefits number is supposed to be. So there's a webinar this afternoon for 2 hours on completing this process. And so we're hoping to get that clarified this afternoon from Department of Management personnel that are working on the project.
And the webinar's not until late afternoon,
Yeah, it's 3
so we
o'clock,
won't have
and
an answer probably
The
yet today.
submission has to be done by the 15th. So
Right.
we need the resolution prior to that.
So you think Friday? What time do you guys want to meet on Friday?
I'm pretty much open. Is morning available? Okay.
Morning's fine with me, Lance.
9 o'clock?
Sure.
So So let's put that on for 9 o'clock Friday morning.
Okay.
Is that plenty of time? Okay.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Hearing no more, all in favor say
Aye.
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 Carries. Next I have is a change of status in the sheriff's office.
Lance, I'd make a motion to approve the resignation of Mackenzie Burton effective September 1st, 2020.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Now I have the emergency management update. Thomas.
Start with the COVID. Again, we're working on getting the CARES Act money figures put together, 25% of the public safety budget, but there's a question in what that benefits portion of that public safety budget is supposed to be figured in, so we'll get that clarified this afternoon. Most of the PPE distribution stuff has come to an end. I went down yesterday and picked up the last of the supply from the state out of Polk County that was delivered to our region. And so we have everything that's assigned to Hardin County for a 30-day supply for the next wave of COVID when it comes around. We had our meeting yesterday, and all of long-term care and healthcare are getting their PPE in for the most part. Sometimes there's a week wait as one of the suppliers will cut a stock 1 week, but then they'll double up the order the next time. So they're doing fine on that. We still continue to meet. Then Rocky sent out the numbers. We had 19 positives this last week, 158 tested, which when you look at that, it's less than it's 0.0092% that are being tested, and less than that are positive, obviously. And then, so we're still looking at that, but Rocky is looking, their webinar yesterday was in planning for what we call points of distribution and mass vaccination. So that's the next thing we're heading into, is that they're planning on having the vaccinations ready late fall into the winter. And so the planning is starting in how we're going to push the vaccinations out in a mass vaccination scenario. So more to come on that as it gets developed. Duratio, we were verified, validated last week. I had Kevin, somebody from Des Moines, the FEMA representative out of Kansas City, came up, and I toured him through the county, the south end of the county from Hubbard to Union, and he validated all the damage information. So we have plenty of damage that we get into the public assistance declaration. We do not have near enough damage in individual homes to qualify for individual assistance. With that being said, the Iowa Individual Assistance Program through the Department of Human Services in the state of Iowa is still open until, I think we talked last night, it's the September 24th that closes. The Iowa Individual Assistance Program is only open through DHS for 45 days after the date of the disaster. So from August 10, 45 days, and we're out of being able to apply for that. So people that are looking for individual assistance need to get those applications offline. They can do them online through the Mid-Iowa Community Action Agency out of Marshalltown. And I also took paper copies down to the city of Union and down to New Providence. So if they talk to their city officials in those communities, the officials have the paper copies that they can also get and look at the income guidelines and get those filled out. So our declaration, and I had this both from the FEMA guy and from the state. So FEMA said we were validated and would be included in the public assistance. And then I got an email before I got back to the office that day, even from the project specialist at Homeland Security in Des Moines, that said we'll be in the next listing of counties that are in the public assistance money. So I've met with Union City Council last night, went over some of their issues with what is in, what can be written as projects and where they're at with people bringing stuff to the street and where they still need to remove stuff from the street and where they can call the deadlines and things like that. So that's moving along very well. City of New Providence, we're just working on their documentation, but we've got time to get that done now that we're going to be declared. We'll be fine.
Nope, sounds good. Any other comments, questions?
No, I just want to thank Thomas for all that he's done. I mean, I don't know what we would have done without having him through all this year, through the COVID situation, the derecho. So thank you for everything you do for the county and the other communities.
Thanks, Thomas.
I do have an update that Rocky from Greenbelt Home Care wanted me to pass along. I'll just read it here. She said she's unable to attend the supervisors meeting and wanted me to share the case counts. I think, Thomas, you did part of that.
Yep.
But they shared their weekly case counts on their Facebook page, on the Greenbelt Home Care Facebook page, and they're working with the State Department of Public Health to update their mass vaccination plans and get ready for the vaccine to come early November. We're waiting to hear what the priority groups will be for that vaccine. So pretty much Thomas had covered it, but I just wanted to read it from her.
Okay. Now I'm going to open up public comments, give the people ability to speak. Are there any public comments?
Lance, this is Donna.
Go ahead.
I would like to remind everyone that on the news this morning, one of the companies in running a major drug test has halted its testing because of an unknown illness amongst its subjects. That may delay the vaccine. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Hearing no other public comments, I am going to, oh, wait,
Can I make one?
Yes,
comment
Thomas.
to this whole vaccine thing.
yes.
So as we talk about the vaccines coming out, the vaccines, and we're talking about mass vaccination, all of that, and Rocky's email to Renee brought this up, is that it won't be a free-for-all for everybody to get vaccinations. Just like the disease had certain groups that it affected the most, the same thing will happen with the vaccinations. There will be a priority group that will get the vaccinations first. Healthcare providers obviously will be on the top of the list, and then it'll be by age groups. And so even though we have a vaccination, when the vaccination comes out, it will still be priority groups, and it won't be open for everybody from 0 to 100 years old to be able to get it. It'll be in groups that are priority groups set by the federal government and the state of Iowa Department of Public Health.
Thank you. Now, before I close public comments, are there any other public comments?
Yeah, why are the numbers different from what, I guess I'm not quite understanding why the numbers are different for COVID than what have presented. Why aren't the numbers the same? Why are we having trouble with the numbers being different?
Do you mean different from what the state puts out, or I know there was an issue with reporting, the way the state was reporting or recording the
Still is.
results. Yeah, so personally, I like to trust Greenbelt Home Care numbers, but otherwise, I guess I don't know what the difference is. Thomas, are you aware? Has that been fixed at the state level?
Yes and no. Yes and no. So part of the reason that the state numbers look different than our local numbers is that when people go to the Iowa site, so I can go, and I was just in Des Moines yesterday. They have a big Test Iowa site, Waterloo, Marshalltown. So when I go from Hardin County down to one of those test sites, then sometimes the information as far as address, residence is put in error. And it might be that whoever's doing the paperwork on the end, when it gets in, it goes in as information going from Hardin County. But then when Greenbelt Home Care, because if I say I live at Union, Whitten, New Providence, some of those, it gets listed to Hardin County. But when you look at the actual address, the residence is actually in Story or Marshall. Anytime you live on the bordering cities, your mailing address is a city inside of Hardin County, so it gets listed as Hardin County. But when Greenbelt Home Care goes back and does the looking at what's actual place of residence to do education and do some follow-up, then it falls outside of Hardin County. And that's the reason those numbers fluctuate, is because it's going by zip code, and you can actually live in another county and still be in a zip code that comes out of Hardin County. That's the fluctuation in numbers, and that's the work that Megan and Rocky are doing every day at Greenbelt Home Care, is trying to validate what those residents are.
Okay.
So is that why you're having trouble with numbers and going to have this meeting on Friday to get these numbers straightened out with this funding then?
No, that's just regarding the funding and the expenses that Hardin County have that will qualify. Yeah, that qualify for this. But so like Thomas said, it's a bookkeeping thing, kind of budget wise, where the numbers of cases is totally different. And that was the previous explanation from Thomas, as far as living in a town or living in a zip code that might reside in two different counties. So it's kind of two different things, Pauline.
Okay. Didn't know if that was, well, what you said was right. I didn't know if that was why they were having the
No.
meeting to get the numbers straightened out for the money or whatever.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Hearing no other public comments, let's go to other business.
I have none.
BJ?
I don't have anything.
No other business? I could ask for adjournment or recess.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Carries, we're adjourned. Thank you.